people that was of reputation, he didn't really hang out with or minister to, because he didn't want his ministry to be in vain. Verse 3, but neither Titus, who was with me, being a Greek, was compelled to be circumcised. So Paul had to make sure he dealt with only certain people who was following the faith and serving the Lord Jesus Christ. So he said he had brought Titus with him, and Titus, who was with me, being a Greek, was compelled to be circumcised. Or neither Titus, who was a Greek, was compelled to be circumcised. Because what was happening, these false brethren, who was Hebrew Israelites of the seed of Abraham, the southern kingdom of Judah and Benjamin, they were following the law as a religion and forcing people. So you can't just serve the Lord Jesus Christ by faith. You got to be circumcised. So by faith was not enough. They said, no, you got to be circumcised. And so that's what Paul is talking about. And he's talking about Titus. And he said Titus was a Greek. Yeah, Titus was born in Greece. So he was a Greek. But he also was a Hebrew Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the northern kingdom of Israel. You got to understand, they're not called Israel anymore. They're not called Ephraim anymore. When they sinned against the Lord, they were no longer given that designation to be called Israel. So they were called by whatever location that they were living in. Even Paul himself, he was not of the northern kingdom, but he was born in Rome. He was a Roman citizen. And so these are the things that you have to study to understand in the scriptures. If you don't, you would take the scriptures out of context, and many people are deceived, especially from the 501c3 corporations, Antichrist church system. They would tell you all these crazy things and take the scriptures out of context, and they don't know what they're talking about. And so many people are deceived, telling them that Jesus came to save everybody, and Jesus only came to save his people from their sin. And that's who he's coming back for. So Titus was not compelled to be circumcised. He was a Greek, but he was a Hebrew Israelite of the seed of Abraham. Like us here in this country called America, they call us African Americans. That's the name they called it. They've called us plenty names: Negroes, colored, black. So now they call us African Americans. But what we are and who we are is Hebrew Israelites of the seed of Abraham, and specifically of the tribe of Judah. That's who we are. But a lot of y'all haven't been able to accept that or receive it by faith. So go study the scriptures, and maybe the Lord will open up your understanding so that you can see that. Verse 4.